Hey everybody, welcome to the Appleboys podcast. I'm Josh. I'm here tonight with Corey. What's up, Corey?
Hey there, Josh. How you doing? I'm Corey.
I'm doing well, thank you. What's up, Robert?
It is the return of the Robert. What's up, motherfuckers?
Robert is back at last. Thank you. We also have Jimmy tonight, but he is he's out of commission right this second because we only have 4 working mics because there aren't enough of you subscribed to our Patreon. If you'd like to go ahead and do that right now and get us a 5th mic, you can do that at patreon.com/appleboys. We'd really appreciate it. But the reason Jimmy's not on the mic right now is because for the second week in a row, we have brought on a guest speaker. And you may remember him from episode 1 fame. He created some special Pogs. We're going to talk about that a little later in the episode. But it's Rob. What's up, Rob?
Hi, I'm the other Rob. How's everybody doing?
You may be confused because we have 2 Robs now. So for this episode, we're going to have Rob.
Yes, that'd be me.
Rob is Pog Rob?
Yeah, 3
Pog
letters. That makes sense. Good association.
And then we got Robert.
Cool.
So we had a really big episode planned last week, and it fell apart because Jimmy and Rob have both been on their deathbeds for the past month and a half. And based on the pregame meeting coughing that's been going on this evening, they may still be on their deathbeds. So if you don't hear another episode after this one, it's probably because they infected us with the bubonic plague or something like that, and we all died. So
It's the Bukkake plague.
oh, gross. Thanks for that.
I see what you guys are talking about now.
All right, so why don't we just get started? Rob, you were introduced in the first episode. You were the guy who created the Peggy Hill, Wet Ass Peggy, Pogs, and all the other King of the Hill characters. So tell me a little bit more about the inspiration behind that.
Yeah, in all fairness, the Wet Ass Peggy Pog specifically, I did rip the animation, but I made the Pog. I didn't design it, draw the actual Peggy character itself. But the other 4 Pogs were just cut from pictures that I found on the internet, just researched certain memes, I guess, and just kind of went into Photoshop and pieced it all together. And there happens to be a website, I believe it's custompogs.com, maybe? I'm not entirely sure on that one. Anyway, website doesn't look super impressive, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that the product that they ended up shipping me was quite incredible. So I got a few of them made, but here's the holster container for them.
Oh, snap.
Which is it's like a 12-ounce can.
Yeah,
It looks like a 3D printed Miller Lite can.
It's exactly what it is. It was with the original intention of wrapping it in an Alamo Beer logo.
Nice.
But as time came close, I couldn't quite get that pulled off. But it turns out it was all for naught anyway. I was designed to give these away at Bonnaroo, but it ended up not happening this year.
It looks like the Barbasol can from Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
where Newman is like, it actually works.
Yeah. Like, he's got Pogs,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, nobody cares. So the top screws off. A friend of mine does have a 3D printer and made these, or made this specific
Did he
one.
create the template for it, or was there an existing template online that he used?
There was an existing template that it was specifically designed to mimic a normal 12-ounce can. He decided to, on my request, cut it in half, add the threads, and we added a custom chamber for the Pogs that's custom fit. It kind of works like a old Pog container. So
It's a very large Pog container.
But it's awesome.
It is
Yeah,
awesome.
I think it holds
It's a grown-up Pog container is what it is.
close to 50, maybe.
That's what's up.
Here, we can pass it around. You guys can get a feel for what that looks like.
Wow, this is heavier than expected.
Really? Yeah.
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. It is actually the 3D printed stuff. There's a slight infill to it, so it is fairly light considering its volume. But
I wasn't expecting a show and tell.
yeah.
Neither was I. This is great.
Here, I actually brought an assortment of the Pogs for you guys, so I think I've got a full set for everybody here.
Well,
if I
thanks,
can
Rob.
put them all together.
Is that real? Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. There you go.
Is V5 that's on the inside of this container, does that mean that it's version 5 of this print or what?
Correct. Yep. 5 iterations of that before he got it down to what he wanted. He had to figure out the threading and everything because, like, when you design it on a computer, it doesn't always print out the way that you would expect it to.
That is super cool. I wonder. No, not with a can. I was thinking, like, the Barbasol can from Jurassic Park made me think, like, what if you were able to put actual beer in it and, like, have it as a test? But this is incredible. We need to figure out how to make these an NFT.
I was going to say, I think that Jazzy Bobby, which is what I'm going to call this one, would absolutely sell very, very high.
Didn't we already go over this? Aren't they already NFTs?
Well, Pogs are NFTs. I'm talking about these specific King of the Hill ones. Like, would we have to pay licensing to King of the Hill?
I mean, surely.
Almost assuredly.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mike Judge will fuck
Disney
you up.
Disney owns it now, so
Do they really?
yeah, they bought Fox.
We've already had our legal dances with the mouse. I'm not afraid of them.
That's incredible.
I sent some of you guys earlier in the week a video meme that I found on the internet. And the top 3/4 of it is a text message that says, "My friend that works at Lockheed Martin had a group of Japanese defense representatives touring the plant. While on lunch, he heard them arguing over whether King of the Hill is better subbed or dubbed. One even said, Japanese doesn't express the essence of the characters like English does. This basically confirms that King of the Hill is, in fact, Texas anime." I just want to let you know that we've got this theme music.
So,
And behind that theme music is this video with, like, these text flashes and...
this is so exciting for a reason you don't know about yet.
Okay,
But
please
I'm...
do tell.
So that is, I think it's, I think the title of that video is like Propane Evangelion or something like that. And Jimmy, who is a DJ, uses in his visuals that exact video as one of the tracks that he overdubs on the screen for his visuals.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's so funny every time. So that's incredible. I did not realize this crossover was going to happen.
Can confirm.
That's awesome.
That's Jimmy in the background.
Yeah, we locked Jimmy in the basement, but he can still hear us. Obviously you were planning to take these to Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
And Bonnaroo got canceled, unfortunately. And honestly, this is the second year in a row, right? And I think it got canceled last year too, right?
Yeah. The 2020 Bonnaroo was canceled because of COVID.
And this one got moved 2 or 3 or 4 times, like rescheduled, I think, before they finally decided to just put a fork in it because it was done.
Because of rain.
Yeah, that was the ultimate cancellation this year was weather.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time that's ever happened in Bonnaroo's history, but it was postponed several times for other various reasons.
So Bonnaroo's obviously legendary, but like it's not a huge music festival, and I imagine that canceling it 2 years in a row can't be good for its future as far as like just being able to continue on, right?
It's pretty large. I would say it's definitely in the top 5 maybe most recognizable music fests across the country. But it is a huge deal that it did get canceled twice. But they're owned by Live Nation now, or run by Live Nation. So
yeah, but Live Nation's in some trouble though.
It is, but it's an ultra big company. Is the point? Like it would be different, I think, if they were a smaller, more grassroots, like it was an early on thing. I think maybe that would have been more detrimental. But it's such a big stone rolling right now. I don't know that it could ever stop.
This ties back a little bit into what we talked about with Luke last week, but obviously with the Travis Scott thing, the Astroworld Fest, where 8 people died and many, many more were injured. There's sort of like a microscope on Live Nation right now. Mm-hmm. And I've heard that they've done this like evaluation about the way they're managing their live events and things. And just over the last like year, I think is what I heard, there have been, I don't know, like 200 deaths across all their venues, which is an astronomical amount. Now, in comparison to the total number of people that have been to those events, it's a very small percentage, but it's still way over the threshold of what you would consider sort of acceptable, and also tons and tons of injuries. So I've heard some talk of like major class action lawsuits and things like that could affect Live Nation's future. So we'll see how that goes. But Corey, I think you said that, kind of tying this all together, that you wanted to talk a little bit about music festivals.
Yeah, no, I just had some fun stories, and I know at least some of the fellows. I don't know if you have, Josh, but we've all been to music festivals, so certainly we have some experiences to share.
Yeah, I actually don't know that I've really been to a festival. Like I've been to large concerts with multiple bands and multiple headliners, but I've never been to one that goes over like multiple days and has more than one stage and things like that, I don't think.
It's an experience, I can tell you. Like, you don't expect to walk that much, but like the first day, so my fiance and I, we went to Voodoo Fest in 2016. It's the only multiple day festival that I've ever gone to because I'm old, and this trip made me realize that I'm too old for that now. Like, too old and too fat, I guess, is really the better way to say it. The first day we walked like 21 miles, just walking around the festival grounds and back and forth to the Airbnb and things of that nature. And at the end of the first night, it was G-Eazy, and then it was The Weeknd. Nice. And we were watching The Weeknd. Awesome. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have stayed to watch more of The Weeknd because he puts on a great show. He's a great entertainer. But
great Halloween costumes too, man.
Yeah, G-Eazy came out dressed as the Jared Leto Joker, and he was like movie set worthy perfect, and then just absolutely killed it. And I wasn't expecting that. Like, I just wanted to hear that woo. It's just me, myself, and I. That's all I wanted to hear. And I was thoroughly impressed. But after that, on the main stage that night, we had The Weeknd come out, and we listened to, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 songs, something like that. We were pretty tired because we'd been walking around all day in the hot, hot sun. It's in New Orleans, and it's in October, which you wouldn't think is going to be like that hot. But, buddy, anything on the Gulf Coast in the sun fucking sucks. And we're sitting there watching The Weeknd. And, like, I knew, like, the big ones, like the I Can't Feel My Face Without You, or When You're Around, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
God, I don't understand those lyrics, by the way. Sorry. Go on.
It's about cocaine.
It's about cocaine.
Oh, okay. I thought it was about
Can't feel my
head
face.
That's so incredible your face goes numb or something.
No, it's definitely,
anyway,
definitely about drugs. And there's people around us just going ape shit. Like, they love The Weeknd. And I look over at my fiance, and I'm like, you want to see what's on the other stage? Because we're not that big of Weeknd fans. Like I said, I know like the ones that are on the radio and stuff. So we go over to the electronic stage. And G-Eazy's DJ Carnage is spinning trap music over there, which also kind of outside of my age range, kind of outside of my wheelhouse. Not really my thing, but it was something else to watch. And people over there dancing and having a good time and all that sort of thing. And he gets on the mic and he's like, okay, guys, I got this special guest coming out for y'all. He came all the way to Atlanta. Y'all better go crazy. I got Lil Yachty coming on the stage. And I look at my fiance. I'm like, who the fuck is Lil Yachty? And there's this like 19-year-old girl literally jumping up and down, losing her goddamn mind. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, buddy, honey, are you ready to leave? Like, we're too old for this. Like, I don't even know who his special guest is. And these people are going nuts.
Did you know who DJ Carnage was? Like, other than
he was G-Eazy's guy, no. Because, like, G-Eazy told us, he was like, hey, my boy Carnage is about to go spin on the other stage. Like, you guys could go check him out. And
nice.
That's the only reason I knew that was a thing at all. But,
man, Lil Yachty, yeah, that's so funny. He has that Broccoli song with D-Ram.
You said words.
Yeah.
I love that Robert says he has that Broccoli song with D-Ram.
It's literally called Broccoli.
Like, we should know what he's talking about, but
it definitely sounds like code.
Hey, so not to derail the conversation, but just
not to deram the conversation.
Not to deram the conversation. I was just thinking about this, but you, Rob, definitely need to make a Pog that's like The Weeknd and King of the Hill crossover that has something to deal with selling cocaine and cocaine accessories.
I love that. Yes,
and
please.
I think that's what we need to do.
Follow up on that crossover. You could do one that's like Bobby Hill, but it's like the cover from the one that has Seeing Lights on it, where he's all fucked up.
Yeah.
He's got like black eyes and like bandages on. So back to the finishing the night of this. So I look at my fiance. I'm like, we got to go. Like, this is, we're tired. We've been in the sun all day. We've walked 20 miles according to our Fitbits. And we're very, very just ready to go. We start walking. My fiance looks at me and she goes, can we please get an Uber to go back to the Airbnb? Because it's like a 2-mile walk to the Airbnb. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So we start walking, and it's like, Uber's this way, Uber's this way, Uber's this way, Uber's this way. And they have this big fucking tent that's got like 7,000 people that are all waiting for Ubers. And I look at her and I go, so you still want to get an Uber? And she's like, no, we can walk. And
That sucks.
I know that feeling. It sucks so much.
so we found these like porch swing things that are in the middle of the park. It's at City Park in New Orleans. It's like a big, humongous, it's like Central Park in the South, I guess you could say. But they've got these porch swings that are like around what's, I guess, supposed to be a fire pit or something that's not lit up or anything like that. We sit there for, 20 minutes. And I'm like, honey, we really need to go. It's New Orleans, and it probably gets pretty dangerous eventually because we're in mid-city, which is not like the touristy part of New Orleans, really. It's not the Fifth Ward. It's not like where Lil Wayne grew up, but it's not the French Quarter either.
No,
you know
it's
what I'm
too
saying?
close for comfort.
Yeah, exactly. So we start the trek back home, and like it's pitch black. And I bought us these, they were called Panther Vision hats. So they're high-vis yellow. You click a little button and it's got like a lamp on the front of it so you can illuminate your path. And I bought these because I knew inevitably we were going to get separated at some point. And I was like, how many motherfuckers are going to have high-vis yellow beanies at this festival? Like, chances are not good that very many people have this. So we wear those and we avoid the cracks in the sidewalk because New Orleans is a terrible town that doesn't care about their infrastructure, it feels like. And
you don't want to break your mother's back.
it's very true. She's a saint. Anyway.
That was so funny. I love that.
You get a saint?
New Orleans.
New Orleans Saints?
Oh, fuck you guys.
What do you mean?
I'm
You did this.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even think he realized the joke he made.
I didn't, actually.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
That's what I was going for.
Okay.
Maybe a triple entendre?
Yeah, or like maybe even a quadruple.
There
was
were
a lot-
layers.
There were lots of
That's-
entendres there.
Like an onion. It's a callback
It's
from
like
last
house.
episode. Shout out Shrek. Anyway,
Nice.
so we finally get back to the Airbnb and we pass the fuck out. Like the Airbnb is not nice. It's like a shitty house in mid-city in New Orleans. We sleep. We both take Benadryls to make sure we go to sleep because otherwise we probably weren't going to go to sleep because the only thing stopping, because this was like a Airbnb that like rented out multiple rooms to multiple people. So there's all kinds of strangers in this place. And the only thing holding us back is like, the like the eye hook, and then you got the hole, like you just kind of clip it in. It's like a little metal thing.
Yeah, like the storm door.
It's it's the only thing preventing us from murder. So day 2, we know the layout of the grounds, that sort of thing. And this is the night that Tool is playing, which is my favorite band. I've seen them multiple times, and I'm like, I've got to go see them again. And my fiance is going there to see The Antwoord, which is a South African rave rap group.
The Unfired.
Yeah.
How it's spelled.
There's not a V there. It's definitely
It's a W, but
yeah.
it's spelled, or it's pronounced with a V.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So she's there to see them, and they're playing at the same time on different stages, obviously. We didn't know this when we bought tickets. We assumed that we would be able to go see what she wants to see. We would be able to go see what I want to see. She doesn't want to get separated because it's a big festival. So she goes to do her thing. I go to do my thing. It's fine. We find each other back at this water station. There was no problems. The next day, we go to these food trucks, and I say, hey, stay right here. I'm going to go grab some food. I'll be right back. Don't move. She goes, okay. Go to get my food, come back. She fucking moved. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, God damn it. And like I reach into this backpack that I have. I pull out my high-vis cap. I'm like, surely she's going to fucking find this. And I'm just like cursing her name the whole time. And then she comes back to me, and she like finds me. She's like crying. She's like, I moved. I'm like, I know you did. You had one job. You didn't have to move, and you fucking moved.
I mean, at least she knew.
She did. She knew she messed up.
Is your hat kind of like a flare? in that situation where you just put it on and you're like, shit. she's
Yeah,
gonna
like
find me?
it's gotta work.
Gotta
right?
work.
Yeah, I mean it's bright daylight. Who the
like
fuck is wearing a high vis beanie in 95-degree October New Orleans weather?
I think that's low key smart. I like your call on that.
Thank you.
It's a mobile lighthouse.
So, Rob, was Bonnaroo going to be, like, going to Bonnaroo this year, was that going to be your first time going to Bonnaroo?
No, it would have actually been my second.
So, tell me about your first time.
First time I went with in my local camp, just my wife and some friends of ours, and I was fortunate enough to also not go with, but meet up daily with a veteran. So that was kind of nice because the location is absolutely massive. Like Corey talked about, the amount of walking you do at a place like this is something I don't think you really comprehend until you start doing it. And if you're coming with like flip-flops, or if you think that you're in condition to do it and you haven't prepped at all, you're probably wrong.
There were people wearing like high heels at Voodoo Fest, and I was like, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
That's
bud?
wild.
They're either first years or absolute legends. Like they either know and they're fine with it, or they just had no clue.
There's no way they didn't know.
So those 4 days were pretty cool, and it hooked me immediately. I like the whole camping aspect of it, and just kind of being. It's almost, they describe it as a country. While you're there, it's the 4th largest city in Tennessee while it's happening. So it is just like a massive community, and everybody's super nice. And we had perfect weather when we went. Like it was just a really awesome experience. I can't say that everybody I went with felt that way. Before the first 24 hours were done, my wife swore off camping and festivals altogether. 72 hours left in the whole thing, and she's like, "I'm never doing this fucking shit again." And I was like, "All right, great."
That's kind of how my fiance and I felt after Voodoo Fest. We're like, "Well, we did that once. That was enough."
Yeah.
Like, I'm good with just like, I love concerts. Like, I love concerts. I love live music. That's the worst thing in the pandemic is that they shut that down. But man, there's a line, and like 4 days of walking and just, okay, this show's happening now. And like, you feel like your attention's super torn. At least mine was anyway. Like I watched like 2-3 songs, like, okay, I can say I saw them. Now I got to go over here and see this.
Yeah, absolutely. And she had the same thing too. She's a huge concert head, loves music. And she was, kind of one of those people who maybe thought that she was going to be able to do everything she envisioned on doing. Didn't actually take in the whole scope of everything that was happening. And you're going to miss sets, you're going to miss things. And on the back end of it, she came out just fine.
As a better human and in growth overall.
Yes. Yeah.
Ayahuasca will do that to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't mean she's going to go back unless Dolly Parton drops.
Okay.
If they bring Dolly as a headline act,
that would be
100.
wild.
They'll sell out. 100%.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
doubt about it.
I could see Dolly and Miley, like, do it
That's
together.
just exactly what
Yeah.
I was thinking. Yeah.
So, with that being said, Lizzo was supposed to be a headliner, and she was going to be the first ever female headliner at Bonnaroo. So, if that happens, that means Dolly is going to be the first female headliner at Bonnaroo. How fitting.
At 70 plus years old.
It
It's amazing.
costs a lot of money to look that cheap, you know?
Yep. She loves it, though.
That's her quote.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm aware.
Good.
Robert, do you have any concert, music, festival stories?
Really, besides San Francisco, there's not a whole lot for me to provide. But I know Jimmy, who is a veteran concert goer and especially a festival goer, definitely has a lot to provide. And Jimmy recently was down in 3 Points in Miami. Is that accurate, Jimmy?
That is pretty accurate, and I want to preface this with excuse my voice. I've had bronchitis for like 8 days now, so sorry I sound like shit. Me and my girlfriend went down to Miami to a festival called 3 Points. It's centered around like primarily electronic music. We drove down to Miami to go to this music festival. Decided that was the best route to go because flying is pretty expensive at the time, and I had to leave after work. So we leave to go to Miami at like maybe 2 p.m. and we're about 20 hours away we get to Miami at like 3 a.m. Okay, and we're in a pretty odd part of Miami. Odd as in like an environment I've never really experienced. So pretty much everything, like every single sign, road sign, everything around us was in Spanish. And I determined like it was a very, very like Cuban area. So the coolest thing about the area was there was this little shop right next to the Airbnb. And this doesn't really relate to festivals, but I think it's pretty cool. There's this Cuban shop, and we got a bunch of pastries there. And I got like maybe 4 or 5 because they all looked really good. And she was like, yeah, your total is $3.50. I was like, what the hell? $3.50 for all of this? Wild. Especially like in the middle of Miami.
Were they as good as they looked?
They were incredible. Very incredible. On the opposite side of things, so now we're getting to the festival. We go to park. And this is like the official like 3 points. This is where you go to park at the festival. And $30 to park in a giant grass field. And I forgot to mention that it's pouring rain, just torrential downpour. So it's a soggy giant field. I have a vehicle that can handle it, so it wasn't an issue, but there was a bunch of people slipping and sliding around. So we get out of the car, pouring rain. Me and my girlfriend both were wearing a rain jacket. Within maybe 3 minutes, we're soaked. It just goes through the rain jackets because it's pouring rain so hard.
That's Florida for you, bud.
Yeah. So we're walking up to the festival line, and there's not very many people in the line because it's pouring rain. Everyone is just pissed. You just look at everyone, and they are just very angry. There are those few people, like Corey was talking about, that are wearing high heels that are just ready to go.
They're
like,
so mad.
Like, they're absolute legends, and they just don't give a fuck. So we wait in line for a while. I'm assuming they're not letting anyone in. I'm assuming they're just like brushing all the water and shit out of the venues. Most of this is outdoor, but I'm sure there was just flooding everywhere. We thought it was going to be canceled, but eventually they let everyone in. We go to this one venue that's covered, thank God, and there was a lot of flooding in there. But once things got started, it was fine.
How mad would you have been if it was canceled due to rain and you drove to fucking Miami?
See, I was trying to block that from my mind at the time because it just wasn't an option.
Yeah, but like, let's revisit that now because, man, I'd be so pissed.
Hey, let's tap into that trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, South Florida sucks.
It does.
Hey.
Yeah, you fucking heard me. It's a swamp, and when it rains, it becomes more of a swamp.
It's true.
It's true. I mean, there's a reason I don't live in South Florida anymore.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did kind of love Miami. I'm not going to lie.
Miami's great.
You seem like a Miami kind
It's
of guy.
mostly the music scene for me. Like, all the music was fantastic. Food is fairly cheap. Parking was a bitch, I will say that.
Did you feel like you were on the set of a Step Up movie? Like, did you see people doing dance battles in alleyways?
I honestly, this is at the very, very end of the festival. It was a 2-day festival.
Please tell me there was a dance battle. I'm so excited for where you're going with this.
Sorry to disappoint you. There was not a dance battle. But we are walking back to our Airbnb, which is maybe like a mile away. So we're walking back, and we're maybe half a mile from the festival, so we can't really hear any music from the festival anymore. We start hearing like a DJ set again, and we're like, where the hell is this coming from? And we look over, and there's this smoke shop that has like all the doors open and everything, and there's fucking strobe lights like exiting the smoke shop, and there's this guy just sitting in the back, like just spinning some turntables, like going hard.
That sounds like the Jimmy equivalent of a white van with like free ice cream. Like,
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
It was awesome. There was like
Just oscillating his way inside the door.
we were across the street, maybe like a block away, and it was pretty loud. And there was people like next to us, like dancing a block away because it was so good, incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Did you Bernie walk in there?
I didn't go in because I was very, very tired.
You didn't go in?
I was okay. So I had been soaking wet for like 12 hours at
That's
this point.
tailor made for you. It's
really
a smoke
is.
shop with a DJ and like a Sherpa.
So I'm shocked I didn't have trench foot after this festival because like both of us were just completely soaked both days because it rained both days.
You got soggy lungs, though.
Yeah. But overall, festival was great. Downsides, got really, really wet. And water was...
It's not always a downside depending on
That's
who
true.
you are. You know what I
That
mean?
is true. That is true. I didn't think about it that way.
The
Glad
Yin Yang twins
you
would
did.
disagree.
Hey, how you doing, little monk?
Soaking wet.
So while we were soaking wet, there was no free water, which is a big problem at an outdoor festival in South Florida.
Just open your mouth, idiot.
Oh, that's genuinely surprising though, because most of the even like when we went to the Dead Mouse show, they had free water
Right.
stations.
Guess how much a 16-ounce can of water was?
$8.
$7.
Yeah, fuck you, Corey.
So each day we had to budget about $70 for water.
Oh my! I would have just kept the can and just caught the rain.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything either day because we just spent all of our money on water.
Goodness.
Yeah, no alcohol, nothing, just water. Because
I
if we
can't-
drink, it just offsets it.
I can't drink at concerts anymore. I did.
It's too expensive.
It's
It
very
is.
it's very expensive, but I also feel like you miss out on the experience. Like there's the people that love just getting fucking hammered at shows, and they're like, "Nah, man, this is who I am." Woo!
So,
But
speaking of getting wrecked at festivals, when we were on the beach in Miami the day before the festival, it was a pretty nice beach. It was like right in South Beach, Miami, so like the nicest part. They keep it up really well. There was this, you know how you go to like a football game and there's this guy with like the beer thing and he's saying beer here, that kind of thing. There was that guy, but he was selling joints, like weed joints, and weed is not legal in Florida. So very, very odd. But I guess it's what you do in Miami. You would probably know more about that than me, Corey.
I mean, I was not a South Beach guy. That would be more of a Rob thing.
Oh, yeah, it's
I was
probably
up in the
more Rob.
Panhandle, which is Lower Alabama.
I see.
It is extraordinarily red there.
Okay.
It's like borderline deliverance level
Gotcha.
in some parts. I mean, Panama City Beach is maybe not that bad. It's very touristy, but it's kind of like, I mean, and it's like any tourist area. It's awful.
Yeah, so I might have bought one of the joints from the guy on the beach.
You bought. It was illegal to do that, though.
Are you saying you broke the law, Jimmy?
It was in a different state though. It's fine.
Cut.
No, we're keeping that.
Yeah, keep that in. It's fine.
Yeah.
Come after me.
So speaking of festivals in Florida, there was one that's taking place right now, actually. It's called Welcome to Rockville. It's in Daytona. A bunch of my old Florida buddies are at this show. Well, festival. It's another multi-day thing. You can camp, you can have an RV or whatever. But specifically, there's one headline that is kind of taking over the internet right now. If you're in the right, follow the right pages, that sort of thing. It's about a band called Brass Against. Have you guys heard about that?
I have not.
Nope.
So Brass Against is, as it sounds, a brass. They have like a trombone and a saxophone, things of that nature, but they play covers of things like Tool and Rage Against the Machine. They're really well known for Rage Against the
Do
Machine.
they
actually
cover
have
Rise Against?
No, I think it's Brass Against, like Rage Against. That's what they were going for.
I see.
I actually fucked up when I was talking to my fiance about this morning, and I said, yeah, they cover things like Rise Against. Fuck, no, Rage Against the Machine.
I see.
So I can see how you would make that mistake. But they actually have a blessing from Tom Morello, who is the guitar player of Rage Against the Machine, because like they do such great work. They're like viral YouTube sensations.
Yeah.
But they kind of got a little bit out of character at this show. Like they got a little too lit, if you will, as the kids would say.
Is it a Travis Scott situation?
Not quite. It's certainly not on that level, but it is.
That was too soon. I'm sorry.
It's equally shocking. The lead singer, I think her name is Sophia Urias, something like that. She, at the climax of their show, which is the last song, they were playing Wake Up by Rage Against the Machine. She was saying like, hey, you know, blah, 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 blah. We're about to play Wake Up by Rage Against the Machine. I'm going to call this motherfucker up on stage and I'm going to piss on him.
What?
So during the last part of the song where Zach De La Rocha normally goes, I think I heard a shot. No. I think I heard a shot. And then she goes, I think I heard a shot. And she like has this dude come up on stage while she's like squatted over him. She's got her pants down. There's video on YouTube. You can watch this. Yeah, Jimmy, pull it up. Go for it, buddy. It's
I gotta know.
But she calls this guy up on stage. She's doing the I think I heard a shot thing. She got her pants down around like mid-thigh or so. And then she goes, I think I heard a shot. And then just starts peeing all over this dude's face. It's
my God.
It's a full stream. Like, she's drank a lot of water during this show, and it's like a good 15, 20 seconds. Like, good on her for being able to sustain a stream that long. But she's just peeing all over this dude's face, like in his mouth and stuff. And after she gets done, she like starts pulling her pants up, like, get this motherfucker off stage. And like the dude gets up and he does like these like fist pumps while he's on the ground. Like he's so happy this happened. And then like gets up and like spews it at the crowd like Triple H fucking coming out of the dressing room during a wrestling match.
That's awful. What is wrong with people?
So their Twitter is getting all sorts of attention right now. Like people are like, hey, Brass Against, are you okay? And they're like, we apologize for the actions of our lead singer last night. That's really out of character. It's not what this band is about. Yeah, Jimmy is seeing that this is real.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a thing. And so they're responding to these tweets throughout the night and that kind of stuff. And then they wake up in the morning.
That is a stream. Holy fuck.
Then they like wake up in the morning and like their first tweet they said is, so, how are you guys feeling this morning? And that has like a fucking facepalm emoji afterwards.
Oh, no.
I have a question, Jimmy.
Oh my God. And after,
Hold on.
like after she's done, the dude that she pissed on gets up. Sorry, I'm very excited about this. He gets up and flings the pee on the crowd.
That's what Corey just said.
Yeah, but like,
I
it's
just
different to see it, I
I
guess.
saw it.
Oh,
So-
no.
How is that even real?
I have a question. Full bush or
You don't see that.
really?
Yeah, no,
There's no
it's,
bush.
It's
Is there a
full-
towel?
It's profile. She puts a towel down underneath him, but it's a profile. So like you just see like her squatting, and then just stream of
I
pee.
see. Okay.
Yeah. Just go ahead and pass it
Oh
around the
my
table.
God. Wow, that is so much pee. What is that?
She really had to go.
I don't know. I don't know
That's
what
like a
spawned. Like
lot.
apparently this guy like kept yelling at her that he wanted her to pee on him or something. Because like while she's introducing this song, she announces that she's going to do this. She's like, this motherfucker with the camera on his head, I'm a piss on him.
Oh my God, he did the Triple H thing.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I can't believe that it's like I read the headline and I was like, this can't be real. And then I watched the video, I was like, oh my God. And that's like the highlight of Welcome to Metallica played 2 headlining sets. Rob Zombie was there. Pennywise, like it's a star-studded event and Brass Against is stealing the headlines.
I guess no such thing as bad publicity, but like was there any precedent for that with this band? Like is that
No, this is completely out of character. Like
The first comment on the YouTube video is guessing masks weren't required for this event.
Yeah, that's
I
mean, it's
that's
Florida,
a top comment for
so-
a reason.
Yeah.
it is Florida.
The amount of piss is more impressive than the band.
It really, I haven't seen very many people pee, especially women. But is that like that seems like a lot of pee?
Like, is that normal or?
I don't think there's anything about that video that was normal.
The other comment is, that's golden.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, that's the Welcome to Rockville news.
So we keep talking about Florida, and then Corey said he's from the Panhandle, which is South Alabama. We're talking about some weird stuff right now, and I think that's a pretty natural lead into another round of Florida, Georgia, or Alabama.
Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Let's go.
FGA.
You guys want to play?
Yeah, just don't get those letters out of order.
Rob, do you know the rules to Florida, Georgia, Alabama?
I vaguely remember.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to read a news headline, and the three of you, so that's Corey, Rob, and Robert.
You can just say what my vote was.
All right, so Jimmy's not on mic right now because, as I said earlier in the show, we only have 4 mics, but Jimmy's gonna vote as well, and I'm gonna keep score because tonight we actually have a prize for whoever gets the most correct answers. And after I read the headline, you simply guess whether that headline is from a news story in Florida, Georgia, or Alabama. Any questions about the rules of the game?
Yeah, what's the prize?
That will be revealed at the end. But
It's a lot harder than it sounds because, like, you think you're like, this is fucking definitely Alabama, and it's not.
No, that's a straight up toss up across the board. Georgia, if I had to pick one of the states to be the most respectable out of the three,
It's not.
Yeah, you would think so, but South Georgia is just North Florida.
Yeah,
and that's
North
funny
Florida.
because North Florida calls himself South Georgia.
Yep.
well, northwest, northeast Florida.
Basically, that whole region, shitty. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, basically, all along I-10, not a good time for most
right.
people.
All right, let's get started. So the first headline: Man shoots armadillo, bullet hits mother-in-law.
That's Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
I don't think so.
I didn't think armadillos would be indigenous to any of those states.
I'm going Florida because my dad has absolutely shot at an armadillo before. Funny story. So there's an armadillo in the shed on his mother-in-law's property.
Wait, was this your dad
Yeah, this is my dad.
that shot the armadillo and then shot his mother-in-law?
No.
That's cheating.
Oh, no.
Insider information.
But he shot the armadillo. You heard one shot, and it was like, wow, Dad's a good shot. And then he thought it was dead, but he like walked up to it, and it just ran at him. So you hear like 5 more shots in quick succession. So my guess is Florida. Long story short.
I guess we're allowed to double guess too. It's like picking a team.
Well,
It's
no,
just-
you only get a point. So you guessed. Oh, I heard Jimmy guessed Alabama. Corey guessed Alabama. Rob guessed Florida. What's your? Yes, double guesses, and you can use somebody
Statistically
else's.
for the win here, I should go Georgia because it's
Well, Rob gets the first point of the night because that is a Georgia headline.
nice.
Fuck you, Rob.
Fuck you, Rob.
All right, you guys ready for number 2? Minister Wesley Savage opens church at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Georgia.
Alabama.
Jimmy guessed Alabama.
Church at Buffalo Wild Wings. God. So I think that religion is across the board, pretty prevalent through these 3 states. But the addition of Buffalo Wild Wings, it's so tough. I want to go Alabama, but I think it's Florida. I'm going back to Florida.
I'm in a toss up between Georgia, myself, and Florida, but I'm gonna go Florida. Final answer.
All right, so Jimmy gets the only point. It is Alabama.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Like I told you, man, it's harder than it sounds. Like, you think you know these states so well. Like, I thought B-Dub's corporate headquarters was in Georgia. So that's why I was like, immediate thought Georgia.
Yeah, same. That's what I was thinking. I was like Atlanta or somewhere in that region, but
All right, here's number 3. Brother and sister suspected of having sex in tractor trailer.
Alabama.
yeah, that seems like a no brainer, but it also seems it's a trap. I feel like you're baiting us here, but I'm gonna go Alabama.
Jimmy? All right, so we got 4 guesses for Alabama, all of which are wrong. That actually happened in Georgia.
See,
All right, whatever.
Georgia is not respectable at all.
Yeah, I'm not ahead or behind on that guess. so
I'm a
fine with
Falcons
that.
fan, and I can tell you right now, they get rowdy.
All right,
I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
Oh, no.
all right, here we go. Charismatic Florida veteran. Oh, fuck. This one's from Florida.
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 Everybody gets a point.
Yeah, everybody gets a point for this one. I'm going to read the headline anyway. I'm sorry. I screwed that up. Charismatic Florida veterinarian gets 22 years in prison for sexually abusing dogs.
I would have guessed Florida anyway.
My God.
That sounds like a Miami story.
I'm so upset with myself for screwing that one up. All right. Man confesses to killing fiance and driving her body to a Walmart parking lot.
Florida.
Alabama.
What was that, Rob?
Florida.
Florida.
So
A lot of
Jimmy guessed Florida.
Walmarts.
Georgia.
All right, so Rob and Jimmy get a point each because that happened in Florida. So that is 2 points for Rob, 2 points for Jimmy, 0 points for Robert, and 0 points for Corey.
I am sucking so hard this week.
Nice.
Spilled KY lube leads to evacuation of post office.
Oh, good transition here.
Georgia.
Alabama.
So, all right, Jimmy guessed Alabama. Who said Georgia?
Corey said Georgia.
All right,
I was Alabama as well.
Georgia.
okay. Well, Rob and Jimmy get another point each. That's
My
Alabama.
goodness.
So they are-
Robert, we suck.
They're currently dominating.
Jimmy and I just know what trash is when we see it.
I mean, I guess. Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm not proud of it.
I was born in it.
I was molded by trash.
Naked woman vandalized, then flooded stranger's home.
Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
Florida.
All right, so Corey,
Hold
Robert,
on.
and Rob.
I'm going to say Georgia then because you're about to award points.
I thought you said Georgia.
I didn't yet. I was about to, but it's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Well,
it's okay.
You get a point accidentally. I
Huzzah.
definitely heard like
There were
something.
many Georgias said at the same time.
Yeah.
I just want to finish the Bane impression there. I didn't see decency till I was already a man.
Tammy Jo Perkle stabs woman.
Oh my god.
I almost made my guess based on that name. Go on.
Alabama.
You're going to go with
Al-
Alabama?
Hold
Alabama
on,
as
let me
well.
finish
Yeah.
the headline.
You don't have to.
Tammy Jo Perkle stabs woman straddling her boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Boyfriend hides under bed.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Nobody's right. It's Florida.
I don't care.
It's actually Georgia.
That's incredible.
That's wow. Okay. That's where Squidbillies takes place. That's where that is.
You're right.
Did you know that Tracy Morgan is voicing early Kyler? Because Unknown Henson's super racist.
I did know Unknown Henson was super racist.
I mean,
I did not
everyone,
know that was.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan is voicing early Kyler in the last season.
Oh, man.
They went the complete opposite direction of Unknown Henson.
Look, we're going to make good on this, and this is
Yeah.
how.
This is what we're going to do, guys.
Man tased for twerking and resisting an arrest during a traffic stop.
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Alabama.
Everyone gets a point except for Robert.
Meep, meow, meow.
I just wanted to go contradictory because I need to get myself back into the game.
That's how this works. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're playing the game. Smart.
That's true. He's
We're just playing to win. I mean, I'm not right now, but
Eric McFadden allegedly attacks man with machete over love triangle dispute.
That makes me want
Machete.
to say Arkansas, but I know that's not an option.
machete leads me to believe Florida.
So
Lots of
Jimmy
foliage.
guessed Alabama. Corey said Florida. What did you say, Rob?
I'm going to go with Georgia.
I'm going Alabama.
All right. Well, Alabama is correct. So Jimmy and Rob both got points. So that brings the score currently to Corey at 2, Robert at 2, Rob at 5, Jimmy at 5.
Yo, someone smells good. Who is that?
It's your mom.
Was that you?
Actually, it's Jimmy's mom. Hi, Jimmy's mom.
Hi, Jimmy's mom.
Hi, Jimmy's mom. Thank you for being a Patreon subscriber.
Hey, Mom.
We love you.
Man hit by car, then run over by school bus while crossing street.
Wow.
Double tap?
So, can you say that again?
Man hit by car, then run over by school bus while crossing the street.
I'm going to assume that an elderly person was involved in this, and therefore my guess would be Florida.
Georgia.
I don't think this is fair because Robert and Jimmy have seen this car crash video.
That's true. My guess is Florida for sure.
I'm going to say Georgia.
All right, so Corey said Georgia. Rob and Robert both said Florida. What did you say, Jimmy? Georgia. So Rob and Robert both got points.
Let's go.
Confirm, deny, elderly involved?
I don't know. I only read the headline.
You know that was like a 90-year-old man and a 75-year-old school bus driver that's just can't retire. Hello.
Is it
25 cents, please. Jim, it's $1 now.
These are
That's okay.
children. This is school.
Bank accidentally deposits $31,000 in teen's account and then asks for it back.
Alabama.
Georgia.
Robert gets the point.
Yeah, let's go.
Jimmy said Florida. Everybody else said Alabama, and it was
Georgia.
Georgia.
That sounds like some kid that's like just working at McDonald's in like Atlanta, and they fucked up and gave him like 4,000 hours on one paycheck.
I'm out.
Man sought after cutting cables to satellite dishes and knocking out TV stations.
Florida.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Florida.
Alabama.
All right, so Jimmy and Robert both said Alabama, while Rob and Corey both said Florida, and Florida is correct.
God damn it.
Let's go. That was probably in Fountain, Florida.
I hear they have the most 5G in Florida, so that guy has reason to be suspicious.
Very, very paranoid. Government ain't tracking me.
Man pays $50 daily fine to hang Trump won banner, plans Let's Go Brandon sign.
Florida.
That sounds so Florida, but that's a trap.
I know what city that was in.
Florida.
I'm going to go with Florida as well.
Florida.
Everyone gets a point.
Yeah, that was in. I think it's in Destin. I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this dude has
You know
like a
who's
mansion.
Not playing to win the game, Corey.
It's whatever. I want to flex that I know that headline.
Jimmy Lee Scott's daughter sues funeral home for losing mother's body at cemetery.
Jimmy Lee Scott,
Alabama.
Alabama.
Jimmy Lee Scott.
All right, so Robert, Corey, and Jimmy all said Alabama. What do you got, Rob?
Read it one more time.
Jimmy Lee Scott's daughters sue funeral home for losing mother's body at cemetery.
Georgia.
So Rob guessed Georgia, while Jimmy, Robert, and Corey all guessed correctly that it was Alabama.
Nice.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Hey, man. I'm in first place. I can take risks.
Only by 1 point. Current score update, Corey with 5 points, Robert with 6 points, Jimmy with 7 points, and Rob, the guest, with 8 points. All right. You're going to have to listen carefully on this one because it's kind of a confusing headline. Phil Campbell's bring relief to tornado-damaged town of Phil Campbell. Let me read it again. Phil Campbell's, plural, bring relief to tornado-damaged town of Phil Campbell.
Alabama.
Yeah, they're most likely to be in the area that have a tornado. So.
I have I'm on good faith that there is a Campbell abundance in Florida. I think it's Florida.
You are wrong. It's Alabama.
God damn it. They absolutely do in North Florida.
No.
Yeah. We already established
I
that North
live there.
Florida is South Alabama. So,
Northwest Florida.
but no, the town's name is Phil Campbell, Alabama, and a bunch of Phil Campbells from all around the country came to help, save Phil Campbell, Alabama.
No, that's a Kickstarter.
It's a heartwarming story.
That's a good one. That's a great story.
It is, and it's a really good headline.
It really is.
I like that one a lot. That was one of my favorite ones. I was very excited when I found that one. Man says he tried to show off on first date with high-speed police chase.
Florida.
Georgia.
Alabama.
All right, so Jimmy said Alabama. Rob said Alabama. Robert said
Georgia.
Georgia. And Corey correctly said Florida.
Boom.
Corey's catching up.
I was just trying to figure out where someone would admit that that's what they were doing.
Definitely Florida. It's a matter of pride.
I
Across
was-
county
I was
lines, you ain't
going
got
with
jurisdiction.
I was going with the matter of stupidity.
All right. I think that this one may have been used in our first round of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, but
That was so long ago.
I'm counting on you guys not remembering that. So
Strong chance.
marijuana in Wendy's Burger was misplaced by an employee.
Georgia.
Alabama.
Florida.
So I think Robert and Jimmy must have remembered that it was Georgia.
No, I actually thought, I was like, man, that sounds like an Atlanta story.
Buddy, if it's marijuana related, we'll remember.
Like, for real, man.
Man molests wife's Shih Tzu because she gave it more attention than him.
God.
Alabama.
What is that?
Florida.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. Florida.
All right, so Jimmy said Florida, Corey said Florida, Rob said Alabama.
Alabama.
Rob and Robert are correct. It's Alabama.
God damn it.
Pregnant zombie arrested for alleged DUI. Cops responding to murder find drunk woman.
Florida.
That's a fast response.
Jimmy said
Jimmy
Florida.
there. Alabama.
Yeah, the whole zombie thing makes me feel Florida for some reason.
I think it's so I think that there's a level of ridiculousness that only Florida can breed. And I think that we're here with this one.
Okay, so we have Jimmy, Rob, and Robert all incorrect with Florida guesses, and Corey correct with Alabama.
It was clearly a Halloween headline, and anything that's Preggers, automatically Alabama for me.
Yeah, that's true. You've got a point there.
I for sure thought you were gonna say anything Preggers is immediately coming to my feed. Like I'm gonna know about it.
I have a niche.
That's my fetish.
Man accidentally throws away and then later recovers $10,000 winning lottery ticket.
Florida.
Georgia.
Jimmy said Georgia. Corey said Georgia. Rob said Florida.
Florida.
And Robert said Florida. So Rob and Robert were incorrect. Jimmy and Corey were correct.
Let's go.
Damn it.
What's
Can we
this
get
counting
a
up to now?
Yeah,
It's
can we
me
get a
and
score
Corey.
tally?
Corey, I think you're one ahead of me right
Corey is at 9 points. Robert is at 8 points.
Yeah.
Rob is at 10 points.
Ooh, catching up. Can you feel my breath on your neck?
Jimmy
I
is at
kinda
10
like it.
points. So currently, Jimmy and Rob are tied for first. Corey's right behind, and Robert's bringing up the rear.
now. How many more questions?
I'm always
do we
coming
have
up the rear.
We have
Just a few more.
We have 114 more to go.
Is this going to be graded on a curve?
Discarded beer can leads to arrest of murder suspect from 25-year-old cold case.
Sounds like Florida to me.
What?
I gotta go with Florida.
Georgia.
So Jimmy and Corey both said Florida. Rob said Georgia.
Alabama.
And Robert said Alabama. So Corey and Jimmy get points. And
I didn't think
Rob and
stuff
Robert
would
do
last
not.
that long in Florida.
It doesn't.
Makes sense why you guessed that then.
I don't know, man. All of these sound like Florida to me. I'm just kind of throwing in other peppering in some other states just to be safe.
Tow company charges Mahogany Grandison a $150 cursing fee.
So as a tow company, is that TOW or TOE?
It's TOW.
It's relevant.
Alabama.
Alabama.
All right, so we've
A
got
cursing fee.
Alabama guesses from Jimmy, Rob, and Robert.
I'm going off the cuff. I'm going to say Georgia.
Okay, so Robert, Rob, and Jimmy all get points.
Fuck.
Yeah, when you got
Corey doesn't.
when you got stuff like cursing fees and stuff, that's like fire and brimstone, and the capital of fire and brimstone is definitely Alabama.
All right, so this is the last question.
Well, I can't win now, so
Well, no, you can't.
unless this is going to be a wild card, it's worth 10 points.
I honestly, not because I'm in the lead, but I hate when that bullshit happens where they have this competition. It's like 9 questions. Like the 10th one's worth
Like
11.
when you go,
Like
when
why
you
the
go,
fuck would we even do
like when you
this?
go to a dinner theater and you do all these fucking stupid contests, and then they're like, "We're gonna pass a flag around the arena. Whoever wins the match." Like, well, why the fuck did we do all this other shit then?
Exactly.
Well, we're not going to do that, but you're also not winning, Rob. So the current score is Jimmy 12, Rob 11, Corey 10, Robert 9. So for the last question, if we have a tie, we will have a tiebreaker.
Are you going to look it up?
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, so you don't
'cause
have a reserve.
I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out. So last one is... Oh, fuck, we already used this one. We're done.
Jimmy wins.
Sounds like you're looking up 2 questions.
No. Jimmy wins. So the link had a different name than the headline, but it was the brothers and sisters having sex in the tractor trailers, which was, I think that might have
All
been
right,
the
since
first
I
one.
won, I'm taking this fucking mic back.
I do think
I
that
win the mic. All right, Josh, what's my prize?
All right, so your prize is the rest of my Delta 8 gummies because I've decided that I'm not about that life. So congratulations, you get the peach rings.
That's an incredible prize.
that is an incredible prize.
Can I have them now?
Let's break them out.
Yeah, let's go. Me and Rob here at Weed, we're like, let's go.
Yeah. In the future, I think that we should have like a bonus question that's like worth like 3 points, but it's like any state. That's like a Florida, Alabama, Georgia like headline, but it's from like Hawaii. And if you get it, it's like a Hail Mary pass.
Okay, that'll be an addendum to the game in round number 3 as we play again. We'll have a bonus question that's worth more points. So congratulations on your prize. I'll get that for you as soon as possible, Jimmy.
Thank you. I do need it as soon as possible.
Immediately.
Yeah. Administer it to me. Put it in me.
Did you get that on? You could record that.
So I don't have a good way to segue into this.
Hey,
but,
Jimmy, spell Segway.
That's a good one.
This is a good one. I know the answer to this.
SEGWAY.
Yeah, he did
No.
the same thing as me.
Hey, so I got a question for you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Why do you pay $5 a month to subscribe to our podcast and you don't even listen to our podcast?
What do you
Good
mean?
question.
What do you mean?
I mean, we literally talked about this in episode 6. How do you spell Segway? This exact thing happened on Luke's bonus episode where he was a guest. He said Segway several times. I asked him how to spell it. The way you spelled it, SEGWAY,
Yeah.
is like the thing that you ride.
I'm aware.
Is it? So I haven't listened to episode 6. Is it SEGUE?
So
Yes, it is.
I have listened to the episode and I am fucking with you.
I don't believe you.
I am absolutely fucking with you.
I am fucking you.
Yeah, I fuck.
There's no way we can either confirm nor deny this.
Jimmy has a good poker face right now. I can't
He's
tell.
got us.
I'm sorry.
He's got us
All
caught.
right. So you said,
So speaking
I
of
don't know how to
segues,
segue into this. So go on.
thank you for the segue, Josh. The motorized vehicle.
You're welcome.
So I lived in Oregon for about 2 years, and but before that, I'd known Robert for quite a while. We had worked together for a little bit, and so I would say we were probably best friends for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yup.
Not anymore.
Can you confirm?
Yup.
Okay. So we'd still talk from time to time when I was in Oregon. Definitely didn't talk as much, unfortunately. But sometimes I'd get these random texts from Rob at about probably 11 p.m. or about 11 p.m. midnight, and it would just say, "Hey." And every time I'd get this text message, I would open up Snapchat and look at the Snapchat map, and every fucking time he would text me, "Hey," where were you? Where would you be, Rob?
Applebee's.
He was at Applebee's. So this is before I knew Josh and Corey, but I'm assuming he was just drunk as fuck at Applebee's with Josh and Corey.
Correct.
I mean, we were
This-
having a good time.
This sounds like an Appleboys origin story.
Yeah, and I'd be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He's like, "I'm doing well, doing great," and I'd be like, "You drunk at Applebee's?" And you'd be like, "Ah, yeah."
He always knew.
One of the things that we were going to talk about, like last week and the week before, and all the times that you guys haven't been here, was Jimmy. You threw like a big Halloween bash, like a
I did.
Halloween party,
It was a Halloween rager, if you will.
and
Did anyone get peed on?
well,
No,
Oh, okay.
probably not. Hopefully not.
it was behind closed doors if it did.
But I was told by an inside source that you invited a lot of people, but you weren't actually hosting the party. Like it wasn't at your house. Is that correct?
So while it wasn't at my house, I was definitely a co-host. Like
So-
I can enter Rob's house at any time, and Rob's never going to question me.
So Jimmy had sent out an invitation to this party, and well, let's backtrack a little bit. So we were talking about doing a party, and he had approached me, and I recently bought a house. It's 2,300 square feet.
Damn.
On it's a decent sized house on a decent amount of land, and
You have land?
you can go fuck yourself. So he had said, "Hey, do you want to host this Halloween bash in my 1,000 square foot apartment or in your house?"
Hold
And I
on.
was
Would you
like,
say the land you have is like 10,000 square feet?
approximately? So
Throwback.
yeah. So I said, well, I mean, I think it probably makes more sense to host it at my place, especially if we're gonna have a bunch of people. And he said, yeah, okay, sure, that makes sense. So Jimmy starts a Snapchat group with every person that is a probable to go to this party, and he sends this invite, and this invite reads, "Hey, we're having a party for Halloween.
It was way cooler than that. Sounds
It's-
fucking lame.
Hey man, there's gonna be a party.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
want to
you got
come,
it.
I guess.
Because
No, but
you can tell the tone of voice when you're reading the snap.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Change from, hey, we're having a party to, hey man, we're having a party.
So it was like
True.
it was the emojis that were surrounding the text message that gives it that tone.
It's true. But anyways, so
Just eggplant, eggplant, eggplant.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And then like the little
splash.
the water
Peaches,
emoji.
peaches.
Yeah,
but
Because a peach means,
Ass.
fat ass.
yeah, big ass.
okay. You guys ever think about fruit?
No, we're not going back there.
Was there a banana involved?
The Gross Michelle, the Big Mike.
My favorite banana.
I actually prefer the Cavendish.
You are wrong.
Did you know that bananas that we eat don't actually taste like bananas?
What is wrong with you?
You ever had one of those Rum Runner, Rumple Mint? What's the banana drink?
Runts.
Runts?
Isn't it runts?
Banana
No.
runts?
Banana Runts is a candy.
Banana
Yeah.
runts?
What are you talking about?
I thought it was a drink.
Banana drink?
Banana drink.
Do 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 do. Banana drink. Do 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 do.
I hope you know that a bonus episode is definitely going to be me buying like pounds of Big Mike bananas and just us tasting it like, this is different. It does taste like Runts. So going back to this Halloween invitation. So it was a normal invite talking about the party and, there's going to be music, BYOB, live DJ sets. Cool. Then at the very end, and keep in mind, this is hosted at my place, and Jimmy is sending us invite. Jimmy says, invite whoever you want. Just full stop, no added context or anything like that. Just invite whoever you want to this party.
Yep.
I was telling crackheads on the side of the road.
There's a party
Yeah.
at Rob's house.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, come on down.
And I got the message, and I was like, Jimmy, what the fuck, man? How many people are going to be at this thing? He's like, I don't know, like 15, 20.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
It was like 40
1,000.
people that showed up.
It was a great time, and there was no casualties at this party.
It's true.
And everyone is above the age of 21, which is a plus for sure.
So, anyways, the Halloween bash was a great success, and we all had a great time. So, thank you, Jimmy, for
Oscillating and DJing.
6 hours. Incredible.
Do you guys use the internet?
Once or twice?
No.
Daily.
I don't believe you, Corey.
I fooled you. Yes, I use it pretty frequently.
All right. So on the internet, do you guys have like an identity that you use, like a common screen name or just like sort of who you are on the internet?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
I have multiple gamer tags that are the same.
Yeah, I have a common thread that kind of run through mine.
So I have a name that like I had my very, very first AOL Instant Messenger screen name, and that lasted for like a year or two from like 1996 or 7 till like 98. And then after that, I had my more permanent screen name, and I've had that since pre-2000. And I get very frustrated when I go to sign up for a new social media site or a new game or a new anything, and my screen name is taken, and I have to do some variation of the screen name. Do you guys have any similar experiences with that?
Yes.
It's one of the only things that elicits an instant fight response from me.
Absolutely. It's
Like,
like
I want to track this motherfucker down.
yeah, my screen name is very specific to like my interests as well as my geographic location in some ways, and it's just hard to imagine that somebody else would have the same combination of interests and things to need that same screen name. So whenever I run across a situation where my screen name is already taken, it is very frustrating for me. And the reason I'm bringing it up wouldn't be an episode of the Appleboys podcast if I didn't somehow tie in NFTs and Web3 and kind of the future of the internet. And so in the early days of the internet, like way before any of us were using the internet, it
Just
was
a series of tubes.
it was, yeah, it's a series of tubes. It was a read-only message board type situation, and you shared files across networks and things like that. But unless you were an administrator, you didn't really do much on the internet except for access information and data at very slow speeds, comparatively, obviously, to today. And then like IRC chat started to make live communication across the internet possible. And then the more modern web browser opened up, and that's sort of once that web browser happened and Google came along and, some of the precursors to Google as far as search engines go. And that's sort of where we transition from Web 1 to Web 2. And Web 2 is basically what we're using on the internet today for most people. And on the current version of the internet, we, the users, are the product, right? So our data is owned by these companies, and these companies make money off of us. And a lot of the stuff that we use on the internet is completely free, right? So you can spend hours and hours and hours on YouTube going down that rabbit hole, and you can be on Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and Reddit and all these different places on the internet for bukus of time, but you don't really own any of it, and you don't really get anything out of it. Even if you have your own website, and you're getting some shared ad revenue, you're getting crumbs compared to what the people who serve the ads like Google and things like that are getting. So this new version of the internet that's sort of beginning to blossom and evolve is it's decentralized. It's based on the blockchain, as we've talked about for several episodes. And there's this company called ENS, and it's the Ethereum naming service. And so with that, you can register a .eth name. And from episode 1, again, tying back to the Pogs, you'll remember that I registered pogs.eth, and I've registered several other .eth names because, as I mentioned in episode 1, for domains that are longer than 4 characters, so 5 characters or more, it's only $5 per year to register. So I've got several different names registered for 10 or 20 years or whatever, just to kind of lock them up. And the reason that you would do that is not like I intended for pogs.eth, where it would be a web address that someone would type into a browser to use. What I've come to realize as I've done more research is that this is, or at least it has the potential to be, your identity on the new decentralized internet, right? So what I'm calling Web 3 and what many people are calling Web 3. And the cool thing about this is everything is interoperable. So unlike today, where if I want to sign up for an account on a website, I create an account, I create a password, and I register with that website, and they own everything on their end. With Web 3, I go to a website, and I connect my wallet to that website, and my identity on that website is the identity of that wallet. So my identity on Web 3 is the same across all platforms. So basically, I've registered my name, and everywhere I go, that will be who I am. So nobody can steal my name, nobody can be me or anything like that. And as I go from place to place, it's something called composability, where everything's open. So everything can work together. So if I have a character from a game on one website, that asset can be used in another website. So it's pretty cool stuff. So I can tell by the looks around the room that I'm losing the crowd here. So.
Fucking riveting, bud. Let me tell you.
No, so I'm actually really into this. I just didn't want to you were into it, and I didn't want to do anything to disrupt your flow. But do you think that there's any profitability by registering certain high demand potential names and potentially selling them in the future?
He means Pornhub.eth. Is that registered yet?
I don't know. We can certainly check, but yes, potentially. So we're still pretty early into this, so it's not like all the good names are taken, but it's been you've been able to register these for 3 or 4 or 5 years now, and so definitely I would assume Pornhub.eth is probably taken, but we can definitely check.
It is.
I think that they're I'm sure
Rob is I've checked. I know.
I just feel like a name I don't know, for whatever reason the name that's coming to mind is Dildo Swaggins. I feel like that is a name that I could jump in on because it's not quite tier 1 popularity, but I feel like someone may pay me $25,000 for dildoswaggins.eth.
Well, the .eth name that you register is itself an NFT. So you can resell that absolutely, and you could definitely profit off of it. So if you get a name that somebody else wants and you hold on to it for a number of years and then it builds in value and you resell it, yeah, you can make money off of it. And the ENS, the Ethernet or the Ethereum naming service is going to also make money off of it. They're going to make royalties.
So am I understanding this? It's kind of similar to like unique URLs in terms of like, hey, this is the website I want, but that's your identity, but you are not identifiable. Does that make sense? Like the way you interact with stuff is encoded and encrypted, and they like, okay, we know that this person's name is this person, but we don't know anything more than.
Yeah, so you can make whatever information public that you want to make public. So when you register the domain name, or domain name is really misleading term. When you register the ENS, the .eth name, you can tie in your crypto wallet addresses. So if you have ever sent or received or bought Bitcoin, you have to have a wallet for that. And the wallet is a string of basically non-human readable characters. So it's just these combination of letters and numbers. And like, obviously you can read it, but it's not something that you could easily memorize or you could like say to somebody out loud.
It's not intelligible.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I tie my Bitcoin address to my .eth name, then I can say, hey, send me Bitcoin to whatever .eth, and that is something that you can remember. You can type in and you can send it to it, and basically that name resolver.
What the hell?
Beavers is going fucking ham right now, bud.
And basically that name resolver is going to it's going to translate the easy to read name to whatever that wallet address is. And I can tie it to wallet addresses from all sorts of different blockchains, right? So Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Afghani Dogecoin, which is Pogs apparently, and all these different things. And I can also tie it to things that are on the current version of the internet. So somebody could see my Twitter handle through my .eth address or my personal website or whatever information I want to be on there. So when you ask about like what they can see and what they can't see, right? So the beauty of the blockchain is that the ledger is public. So if you know the address of the wallet, so whether it's a Bitcoin address or an Ethereum address or whatever, you can type that address into a website that shows transactions, and you can see any transaction that's ever happened with that address. So you can see when cryptocurrency has been sent or received, and you can see when NFTs are purchased or sold, and all that information is public, and it can't be hidden, can't be faked or anything like that. So let's say you made your .eth name public, and you've created this large following on social media where you had hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter or something like that, and then you scammed somebody, right? So you had somebody send you something, and in exchange you publicly said you were going to give them something in return, and then you didn't do it. The mob could attack you, right? Because they would know that you publicly said, I'm going to do this, and then you didn't do it. So that you wouldn't be able to hide from that. You wouldn't be able to say, well, I did send it and they just didn't receive it. Like that part couldn't be hidden. And there are lots of people out there who are not careful with their wallets, right? So you've got these secret seed phrases and passwords and things like that. And so people do get scammed, right? Like they think that they're connecting to a safe website with their wallet, or they think that they're sending something in exchange for something else, and they get scammed. And there's really no recourse for that, right? So if you get scammed and you send something to the wrong wallet, there's no undo button, there's no getting it back or anything like that. But it's interesting, and I think if you were very public with your wallet and you had all of your assets in that wallet and it was compromised, it's the potential of like somebody losing their entire net worth.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Total financial undoing.
Yeah. So for most people who are influencers, especially in this space, they'll have their public identity and they'll have a wallet that they hold some of their assets in. And then they'll have a private wallet that's not tied to their public identity, that it's more like a vault, right, where they keep everything else so that it's their assets are spread across multiple wallets. So if one gets compromised, they haven't necessarily lost everything. And also so that maybe somebody isn't aware of everything that they have or everything that they own.
I actually think that's interesting in terms of interacting with the internet or publicly on a financial scale, but that also does not tie back into a specific person. That you could be so public with what you do and how you spend your money and how you transact with people, but it doesn't necessarily tie back to a person.
Yeah.
And so that's fascinating because, you know, you could conduct business however you'd like to without having to be public about who you are and what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of interesting.
One of the common like kind of greetings within the crypto community is so they say GM, which means good morning, and it's sort of like a universal friendly greeting no matter what time of day it is. It's just like everybody's friendly to everybody, but it's GM Anon, right? So it's good morning Anon because everybody knows each other by their online identities, but they don't necessarily know the man behind the mask.
Right.
And it's interesting. And it also, you know, brings into question some of these things that we've talked about with like utility in NFT projects. So I'm invested in a few projects that give me the potential opportunity to go see live music for free because I hold an NFT, or to go to a sporting event for free because I hold an NFT. So one of the NFTs that I hold has recently had 2 events where people that live in London or can visit London have been able to go to Wembley to see soccer matches in a box, like in a private suite box. And then they also had a New York Knicks game that was at Madison Square Garden, again in a private box. And the only qualification to be able to go was you needed to hold the NFT and you need to be able to travel like yourself up there. So they weren't paying for travel or room and board, but getting into the game was completely free, and you know it was all inclusive, so food and drinks and everything in there were free. And they're going to be doing bigger events like the Super Bowl and the World Cup and things like that. And so holding the NFT provides that utility, right? So being someone,
all because who you are digitally,
right?
Not
Yeah,
nothing to do with you.
Going to the event doxes yourself, right?
Right.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
So now the anonymity of it is gone, at least among that community. So, you know, there was this recent big convention, I guess you would call it, in New York City called NFT NYC, and a ton of people were there, like all sorts of people, and they had all these events that were for different groups and things like that. The most notable ones were Dapper Labs and Flow Blockchain, and those are the NBA Top Shot guys and things like that. Their big claim to fame is that transactions that happen on the Flow blockchain are basically gas free. And what that means is you basically only pay for the cost of whatever you're buying, and you don't have to pay any like transaction fees. And on the Ethereum blockchain, which is where most of the most popular NFTs are, you have to pay gas fees for every transaction, and depending on those fluctuate wildly throughout the day. So you might be buying an NFT that equates to $80 US for the actual NFT itself, but the gas fee could be $400, right? So, and it's not always that high, but they are high, right? And that's prohibitive for like mass adoption and for getting a lot of people into this space. No matter what the potential upside is, a lot of people can't wrap their mind around the thing I'm buying costs $80, but I'm paying $400 in addition to that 80 in order to buy it.
Yeah, John Q. Smith says that's a 500%, tax. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, like I said, Flow's big claim to fame is that the blockchain, or their blockchain, doesn't have gas fees, and so really clever marketing on their part during this NFT NYC, they basically hired a fleet of Teslas and had NFT NYC members get around gas free. They were giving free rides around New York in the Teslas, which obviously don't use gas,
LOL.
right? So really, really good
Nice.
marketing. And then the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which we've talked about a few times, which is getting more and more popular with famous people all the time. Jimmy Fallon just joined, and a bunch of athletes and movie stars and things like that have joined. But they had an actual like yacht party, right? So they rented this like 400-foot private yacht and had a ton of members on that. And then they had another like they rented this space and turned it into the real world equivalent of their virtual like bar thing that they have in the metaverse, you know, in the digital world. But there were people that were concerned about, like, if I go to this thing, is somebody gonna steal my information, or like, am I compromising myself by being there? And so a lot of the biggest names in the crypto community were there, but then some of them chose not to be because they didn't want to dox themselves. So really, really interesting dynamic there between the intersection of the digital world and the physical world. I think it really depends on what your goals are. So I think for a lot of these people, like, the community is as much of what they're in this for as the money part. But there have been a lot of millionaires made, you know, over the past, really, like, call it 10 years in crypto, but 2, 3, 4 years in the NFT space, and most specifically the last like 12 months, you know, just a tremendous amount of money being made, and a lot of like 17-year-old multimillionaires out there. So
I have a question.
what's up?
So I understand that, like, if you go to one of these events, it means you have this NFT, right? But I'm assuming more than a couple people are going to have this NFT. So I guess what I'm getting at is, if you as an individual show up, like, okay, people will know your name and that you have this NFT, but if there's hundreds of these or whatever, however many they are, I guess I'm saying, like, how are you, like, truly doxing yourself? Like, besides showing that you have this NFT and showing it's in your possession, like, what else are you putting out there that's going to, I guess, make you vulnerable?
I guess it depends on how well you get to know these people, right? Like, physically being there doesn't necessarily do that, but you're putting a face with a name, right? And so somebody takes pictures and then starts doing research and finds out where you live. And if they see that your crypto wallet holds tens of millions of dollars worth of NFTs, and they find out where you live, and they come and, like, hold your family hostage or kidnap your kids or something like that, like, you know,
Well, it's the same thing with real money.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
there's a
is.
risk
Yeah.
with having assets.
Right.
Like, there's going to be somebody out there for it.
The more public you are about the assets that you have, the more at risk you are, right? And that goes up exponentially as the value goes up, right? So if you have multiple billions of dollars, you probably need to invest more in certain things related to your security and your family's security than if you have multiple millions of dollars. And if you have multiple millions of dollars, you probably have to do more to protect the security of you and your family than you do if you have, like, just multiple dollars, like most of us.
For sure. So, and again, something that I'm not 100% in the loop on, if you, let's talk about these guys that are getting super rich off of, you know, crypto, especially, you know, younger people that are doing this. Is that, like, do they sell off some of their portfolio in order to capitalize on that? Or is that just something that they hold on to for years and years, and they live in, like, you know, with their parents or in an apartment or something like that?
It depends on the individual. So obviously, until we get to a point where you can buy a Lambo with Ethereum or Bitcoin, which in some cases, depending on where you're buying it from, you actually can.
About to say, I thought they started accepting Bitcoin for Lambos.
Got some phlegm in there, don't you?
A little bit. It's been a long time since I fucking talked.
It's true.
I just want to backtrack a lot for a second. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said GM stands for good morning.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What do you think it stands for?
Gross Michelle.
You've been holding on, like, you haven't
wanted to say that for so fucking long.
You haven't paid attention to any of this. You've just been like, I gotta talk about it.
Just God damn it. I need it.
Banana.
It's just on repeat in your brain.
No, but in most cases, yes, the answer to your question, Rob, is that if they want to translate the wealth that they've built through their crypto portfolio or their NFTs, they convert some of that portfolio into fiat currency or US dollars. And so that may mean selling Ethereum or selling Bitcoin or selling an NFT and, in whatever combination. And so,
Can I say something real quick?
Yep.
Can I screenshot a monkey and get on a yacht?
no, they have verification tools that validate that it's in your wallet.
It's on the blockchain.
Yes, you could screenshot a monkey, and yes, you could get on a yacht, but you could not go to this party with these people.
No, not the specific monkey yacht, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's like Minority Report.
Oh, yeah.
Is it? What?
They know in advance.
Yes, of course.
Before you even walk up, they're like, fuck this guy. He doesn't have a monkey in his wallet.
That's true. I feel
so the right click save, the copy paste, that question, right?
Yeah. That's what I was kind of trying to segue into.
So you could decide with a bunch of your friends that we're going to create our own club with blackjack and hookers, as Bender would say from Futurama.
Sure.
Right? And so you could right-click and save all these Bored Ape Yacht Club pictures, and you guys could create your own club, and you could hang out, right? But you're never going to be able to be allowed entry into this other club, right? And so that's similar to the popular kids at school have their group of friends, and you're not allowed to be in that group unless you do X, Y, and Z. And if you decide you're not willing to do X, Y, and Z, and you do the other thing, maybe you're a strong enough personality to where you're happy with all of that and everything. But if you have that jealousy and you have that envy and you want to be in that group,
Sure.
you're not actually in it just because you're pretending to be with a bunch of your friends, right?
That's a good point.
And so that's where we are with these like exclusive crypto clubs. And you could think about it like, my family are Disney people, right? And we like to go to Disney pretty frequently. We've bought annual passes multiple times. And there's this club that it used to be like a big secret in Disneyland, and it's not so much a secret anymore, but it's still very exclusive. It's called Club 33, and it's available by invitation only. And you, even after you're invited, you have to pay a huge initial membership fee. It's like $50,000 or $60,000.
Jesus.
And then you have to pay $10,000 or more a year just to continue to be a member, right?
That's wild.
So, and people are like, there's this huge waiting list of people who want to be in this club.
Wow.
Because when you go to the parks, they have these special areas where the only people who can get in are these Club 33 members.
Huh.
And it's the exclusivity of it. It's the prestige.
Sure.
And then even past that, there are these Golden Oaks homes that are on Disney property that are the only homes in the world that you can own inside Disney World.
Huh.
And that's even the next tier up because that gets you automatic entry into Club 33.
Right.
Plus all these other benefits that you can only get if you own a Golden Oaks home, which is ultimately, after this podcast becomes wildly successful, like the first thing I'm going to do with my fortune is buy a home in Golden Oaks.
It's a hell of an HOA fee.
The HOA fees in Golden Oaks are $75,000 a year.
Fuck that.
That's
that
less
is
than
incredible.
That's less than I thought it would be.
No way, man.
You know that whenever
The yards are manicured by Imagineers.
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, true. Whenever I was searching for my house on Zillow, there is a tag that says no HOA. Like it's a box that you click, and I absolutely click that.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Fuck
like
HOA.
HOAs. Yeah.
Yeah.
All my homies hate HOA.
Yeah,
It's true.
Like that's the allure right now of the current generation of like profile picture NFTs is it's like these exclusive clubs, and the ones that are happening right now are the original clubs. Like this is the beginning. A lot of people are saying this NFT NYC event was like the big bang for the metaverse, right?
Sure.
So it's like the origin story of Web3 and everything that's coming, and it's only a matter of time before it's mass adoption, and you guys are going to be like, I remember when Josh told me on episode 7 of the Appleboys podcast that I needed to get a .eth name to secure my identity in Web3,
Right.
and I didn't do it, and I wish I had listened. And like that's probably going to happen at some point. But
Yeah, I looked up my name and it's already taken. I'm so
Yeah.
fucking sad.
maybe you can come up with some variation, but like that you're happy with. and
Sure.
that can be your permanent identity.
Like
on
Jimmy
you.
James.
Yeah.
James.
I
James
looked-
Jimmy.
I looked up your name and it's gone.
Can you look up mine?
I can. Yeah.
Yep. My name. I'm not surprised that it's gone.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
If mine is gone, I will track this man down.
Yeah.
Well, you have a
you
very
might not be able
particular
to. It
set of
depends on
skills.
how he's doxed himself. We just had that conversation actually. The final frontier of like NFTs is something that I don't think we can really talk about right now because we don't know what it's going to be. But it's certainly not just going to be these private clubs and these profile pictures that you put up on your Twitter account. It's going to be used for a lot of different things. But imagine the NFT, and what an NFT is a smart contract, right? So it's a contract written in code that is immutable. And imagine that I want to buy Jimmy's house from Jimmy, and I don't want to pay an agent a commission, and I know we've agreed upon a price, and neither one of us need to like pay a bank processing fee for a loan because there's no loan involved, and we don't want to pay 6% agent commission or anything. So I'm going to just send Jimmy money for the house, and he's going to send me the deed to the house, right?
Yeah.
There has to be something that identifies why I sent you that money, right?
Right.
And so that smart contract, the NFT, could be what that is, right? So, and when you think about it, that's really not any more made up or any different than the deed that's in a filing cabinet at the bank or at the county clerk's office or whatever, because over time, as a society, we've all just come to agree that this is how we're going to dictate who owns what, and this is why we're not going to go to war over it.
So do you think the government's going to be forced to accept this as like
They're
a
going to have
standard?
no choice.
Okay.
And it's not just the government, it's the world,
Sure.
right? So it's like there are all sorts of use cases for cryptocurrency and NFTs in underprivileged countries that are run in dictatorships and things like that, with people like being able to escape poverty and create a new life for themselves through something that can't be controlled by their local government.
Sure.
And it's coming. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely coming. So that's what she said.
What level can like China, for example, which is probably like the biggest prohibitor of crypto, what level can they like actually try to stop it?
Well, the thing about like the thing that you could do is you could cut access to the internet altogether,
Sure.
right? So you could like literally stop people in your country from accessing the internet.
That's like North Korea level.
But there are technologies like Elon Musk is trying to provide
Starlink, yeah.
worldwide high-speed internet access through satellites
Right.
that aren't dependent on underground cabling and can't be blocked. Like, I guess theoretically you could make a China-sized Faraday cage around your country
Yeah.
to block satellite signals, but that's going to have other implications with their, security and defense
So-
and things like that.
I don't mean to derail here, but how slow do you think China HughesNet is?
Probably not good. That whole thing reminds me of like the Springfield Dome, though, from the Simpsons movie. Like just entirely over China.
Yeah.
Shout out HughesNet.
That would fix like most of the pollution issues for the world, though, if we did do that.
So, did you guys know that honeybees die after mating?
Yeah, they fucking die.
That's all their life is, man.
Honey Nut Cheerio.
I mean,
Honey
same.
Nut Cheerio.
You know?
Hey, why did the mermaid wear seashells
Why?
because she grew out of her bee shells.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
Thank you guys so much for listening tonight. As a reminder, you can follow us on social media. Follow us on Twitter at appleboyspod. You can visit our website at www.appleboys.us. We would love it if you would subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/appleboys. And definitely would love for you to connect with us in Discord, chat with us, suggest topics, get Rob, Jimmy, and Corey more active because they never check it because none of you guys are on. And
Shit.
yeah, that's it. We do want to give a special shout out tonight to Nate. Thanks for listening, Nate. And
Thanks for the beers, bud. I appreciate it.
yeah. Thanks for beers. He's local to our local Applebee's establishment, so we've run into him a few times. And,
I have yet to meet Nate, but I'm very excited.
Yep. And also special shout out to Rob for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you being here, Rob, as well.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
And I think the right way to end this is just to say happy tonight.
Happy
tonight.
Happy tonight.
All right, Rob, I'm going to give you a special happy tonight here.
Happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
Jimmy's going to give Rob a special happy tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.